Hey guys, hi, good morning. It's me, Nay. Welcome to my station, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Nay Say POV. It is my point of view. Okay, guys, once again, I'm out here in these early morning streets on the road again. Okay, guys, so check this out. As per usual, I'm going to need maybe 5 to 7 minutes of your early morning time. Okay, so today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is this: do your own research. All right, now let's get into it. All right, today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is do your own research. So, Nay, what are you talking about, do your own research? You and I can agree on one thing, right? I would hope so, at least. Do your own research is one of the most overused phrases in modern times. Do your own research. What exactly does that mean? Okay, I think it means look into things that someone is telling you on your own so that you wouldn't readily believe the things that you're hearing from the outside. Now, how can one do their own research when fake news is real? How can one do their own research when the powers that be is really taking away information that would support your research, right? How would one truly get the right answer after doing research when the information is no longer available? Because, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. No one uses encyclopedias anymore. Really? No, they don't. Think about this. Do people really go to the library like we used to back in the days? There's no Dewey Decimal System. Like, who knows about that anymore, okay? So most people get their information from the internet. Yeah, from the Google Schmoogle machine. Yeah, that's what happens. So when powers that be who own these companies take away vital information, how could one truly do their own research? So I'm going to give you something that perhaps some of you may have heard before. It's an old African proverb. When an old man dies, a library burns to the ground. Okay? Most of us got our information back in the day through oral history. Yeah, the elders would sit you down. You would be at their feet looking up into their eyes, and they would tell you the stories of old. Most people would also document family history in the family Bible. Yeah. So when these things are spoken out loud or written in the family's book, you more than likely would trust your sources. How can one do their own research? Ladies and gentlemen, that's this morning's topic. Do your own research when they're eliminating Black history from the books. They're burning books, throwing away books, discarding books. How can one do their own history when they're distorting the truth? Yeah, I believe it was Mitch McConnell. I might be wrong on that, but I do believe it was Mitch McConnell who said, the winner gets to write the story. Yeah. So whoever is the winner, whoever's in control, can alter the facts. Remember, Kellyanne Conway said, alternative facts. Yes. Fake news, alternative facts. Destroying, getting rid of books, true information. How can one do their own research? Orangina's administration, they're very strategic to hide the corruption, right? What they do is flood the zone. And if you don't know what flood the zone means, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to let you know. It's controversy after controversy, story after story, issue after issue, back to back to back, which would then overwhelm the public. You don't know which story to look for because there are so many. So how could you truly do your own research when so many things are coming out at the same time? How could you do your own research when as soon as one thing comes out, it disappears and something else comes out? You don't have the time, right? And even if you were to focus on one thing, they're eliminating the facts to those cases. Yeah, right now, ladies and gentlemen, Orangina, check this out, is canceling all security clearances to lawyers in some of the most powerful law firms in the country who represent huge businesses, corporations, and very wealthy people, very powerful, politically connected individuals. He's getting rid of their security clearances so that they will not be able to get facts from the Department of Justice. How can you do your research when the powers that be, those who win, are in control? I want you all to think about that when you are out here telling somebody, do your own research. Okay? How could one really do their own research when, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, do you really think that Trump won that election? Because I was looking up something, doing my own research, and the man said that Kamala actually won, but due to voter suppression that the Trump administration put into play, because Republicans who are, I don't know, just feckless, agreed with, although they don't really like Trump, they're afraid of him. So they agreed with what he wanted to do in terms of voter suppression, that Kamala actually won. But we know the real outcome to that, right? How could one do their own research when certain medicines which would save your life is now gone because this administration is getting rid of those doctors and scientists who literally do research? How could you do your own research? How are you going to find a medicine that's going to save your life or the life of one of your loved ones, okay? Have you really done the research, ladies and gentlemen, about this country? Really? If you have, then you would know that we're really poor. We're really in debt. And we're really behind the majority of the world. Yes. Americans are not engaged in civics. So how could you do your own research about the people you're voting for? You're not really engaged, because if you were, most of these people in Congress wouldn't be there if you did your own research. Remember, this country, as Orangina said one time, I love the poorly educated. This country is poorly educated. Yeah. You know why? Because we have hyped up America in such a way that most people think this is the land of milk and honey. Okay? They really want to come here. They believe the streets are paved in gold. Propaganda. Right? So when you do your own research about other countries, you realize, wait a minute, their food is better, their healthcare system is better. Wait a minute, there's fruit on trees? What? Wait a minute, people are actually reading and not being stuck on their cell phones because they're in love with social media? Are you telling me that these quote-unquote third world nations are really better than us? Yes, they are. I saw one person online, right? And he said he went on a vacation. He was in Italy. And he said he loves pasta. He loves Italian food. This is a black man. And what he said was, American food is trash. I mean, we know that. But he said everything there was fresh. The pasta was fresh. The tomatoes was fresh. The sauce was fresh. Everything tastes different. Yeah, so when we talk about do your own research, let's think about doing our own research, how this country is trash. Okay? So I just want to leave that little nugget. I know it might be a little longer than 5 to 7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for indulging me. This is Nay. I have something to say. Teach yourself and your babies. I love you. Peace. Good morning.